In this video, I'll be sharing with you how to cut this stylish bodycon dress with keyhole neckline. So if this is something you like, please kindly hit on the subscribe button. So to start drafting this dress, I'm going to be cutting it in a miniature form. Now to start drafting this dress, you mark out your measurement, which includes your shoulder to bust, under bust, waist, 7 inches to get your hip point and your gown length. Now you start by marking your shoulder measurement divided by 2 and you add half inch for your joining of your sleeve. I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. For your neckline, you use a basic neckline of 3 inches. So after marking that, I'll connect to this point. The next step is to find my chest line, which is the bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5. Whatever you get, make a mark there. Then you will place your ruler to draw a straight line. After marking that, your shoulder measurement plus half, that is what you mark on the chest line again, or measure what you have there. After marking that, you're going to place your ruler and connect. So this is now your armhole line or chest line. To get your armhole curve, place your tape this way and you divide what you have into 2 and mark. Then from here, you're going to mark half inch here. Place your tape and mark your bust measurement divided by 4. After marking that, connect this all the way up and connect to that point we have on your chest line. For this pattern, you'll be drafting it as a dartless pattern, or if you add your dart, you're going to blend it out. Mark your bust measurement divided by 4, then add half inch for stitching allowance. Mark your under bust measurement divided by 4, add half inch for stitching allowance. After marking that, mark your waist measurement divided by 4, add half inch to it. Then that is for your stitching. Mark your hip measurement and add your half inch for just stitching allowance. Now at your hip point, you mark your hip measurement divided by 4, then add half inch for your stitching allowance. You don't need much sewing allowance, so minus 2 inches from your hip measurement and mark that all the way down, because this is a bodycon dress. You're going to make this dress with a stretchy fabric, a mesh fabric, a spandex fabric, any fabric that is very stretchy. That is what you're making this dress with, right? So I'm just going to go ahead to connect. This is what I have after connecting. I'll go ahead to cut this out. So after cutting this, I'll be using it to cut out the back pattern of this dress also before creating the keyhole neckline at the front. Now I'll notch the neckline to note where I have my neckline. So I'm going to bring another pattern paper and I'm just going to place my pattern now, and I will trace out what I have here. I'll cut out the shape that I have here now. After cutting it out, we'll now go ahead to alter our pattern. If you have any questions so far, please kindly go ahead to ask. For the back neckline, use 3 inches by 1 for the back neckline of this dress, and I'll go ahead to connect. After I'm done connecting, I will cut this out. This is what the back looks like. You want to go ahead to mark where you have your waistline. Why you're doing this is because we use the front waistline, so we are going to go up a bit by half inch so that we will not have any excess bulge at the back of the dress, since we are making this dress with a stretchy fabric. Now we'll keep the back aside and we'll work on the front part of this dress first. Now extend all this measurement to the other side to serve as a guide. After marking this out, now let's go ahead to alter this pattern. For the front neckline, you can use 3 by 3 inches for the neckline and go ahead to mark out. Then measure where you want the keyhole to start. Now another thing you need to do is to measure at least 1 or 1.5 inches above your chest line, and you're going to draw a straight line at that point. Why you're doing this is because you don't want the neckline of the keyhole to exceed your bust area, so you just have to mark a guide to where the keyhole will stop. That is the design. So I'm just going to connect this to the other side here. So this is what I have. Now another thing is this keyhole neckline, you'll be cutting it out. Be cutting it open at one side, which I will mark. So this is what I have at this point. Then I'm going to go ahead to cut out the neckline. If you have any questions so far, please kindly go ahead to ask. So I'll just go ahead to cut this out. If you look at that dress, you notice one side is cut open and then you join it back. Now let's go ahead to work on the back pattern of this dress. So I'm going to go ahead to slash this open. When I slash it open, I'll come up by ½ inch first, then I will connect it because I'll be slashing out the waistline. Now if you notice towards the waistline, I maintained the normal waistline, but I just added ½ inch here. Then maintain your waistline towards the end, right? So we are going to cut it and blend it together this way. This way it will take out ½ inch towards this side. That way we will not have any excess towards the back of our dress. So if you have any questions so far, please kindly go ahead to ask.